Welcome to the Nerd Party.
Welcome to Great Shot Kid, your Nerd Party podcast that looks at the works of Star Wars creators, past, present, and future. I'm one of your hosts, John.
And I'm Mike.
And this week, we are going to be looking at the directorial and also written by work, that was really poorly phrased, but you know what I'm saying, written and directed by Jon Kasdan, who's one of the co-writers of the upcoming Han Solo movie, In the Land of Women, which is a 2007 gem that was released in stars Adam Brody, Kristen Stewart, and Meg Ryan. So a fair amount of star power with this piece. It debuted in April of 2007, $10 million budget, and it made its money back. I guess after marketing budget, maybe it lost still. I don't know.
Well, then on the secondary market, that Netflix dollar,
that hot Amazon money that's coming to it for the 99-cent rental. Why don't you let the audience know what In the Land of Women is all about, Mike?
Well, Adam Brody is a struggling screenwriter who makes ends meet by writing softcore porn, and he is, I guess you could say at the very start of the movie, he's dating a big-time movie star.
Yes. Who is not in softcore pornography.
No. She's big time.
She makes real movies.
She makes real movies. And in the very first scene of the movie, she dumps him. And she clearly has absolutely no interest in him romantically anymore, and yet he is absolutely heartbroken. So in an attempt to kind of find himself, I guess, he decides to leave town and go back to his hometown where his aging grandmother lives, and he's going to go help her out and discover himself. And he meets the woman across the street and her teenage daughter, and hijinks ensue.
Do they ever, Mike? And you know what? I am remiss because the grandmother is played by Olympia Dukakis. Mm-hmm. So there you go. She is also a fair amount of star power to bring to this little gem. Now, you tweeted out that you saw my reaction on Letterboxd. So, spoilers, people, if you follow Mike on Twitter, you have a good inkling of what I thought of this. I do not know what you thought of this. What are your impressions of the movie?
I like this movie quite a bit.
Really?
When it came out in 2007, it was one of those things where I saw the trailer and I was like, I don't really know about this. But, Jon Kasdan, even though I had never seen anything that Jon Kasdan had done, I'm like, well, he's the son of Larry Kasdan, and he makes good movies, so maybe he raised his kid right. He did that with the other kid, Jake Kasdan. He makes good movies, so who's to say that this one won't too? And then there was the Adam Brody factor, which is always, pretty high in terms of me going to see or not going to see a movie. I'm a really big fan of Adam Brody, and my now wife, at the time girlfriend, was also a really big fan of Adam Brody. And, it was one of those things where I had to watch it for work, and I was like, okay, this shouldn't be too bad. I can bring my girlfriend to see it, and maybe we'll have some fun. And this is one of those movies, I think, where the trailer and the poster and all the marketing do not really convey what the movie actually is.
Especially that poster. That poster is all sorts of, did they watch the movie?
Yeah, and maybe they did, and we're like, oh boy, we gotta do something here. But it's a much different movie from that, and
yes.
I I liked the movie a lot. I think I was very pleasantly surprised by it. You know, Brody is always super charming and really funny, and I think the dialogue and everything is really funny. But I also think that it did a good job with, you know, the material. And, you know, it's such a cliche thing for, you know, movies to pull out the cancer story, you know.
Yep.
Like, oh, this person's dying of cancer. Like, I mean,
Yes.
you say that in a movie description, I'm like, well, I'm not going to see that movie, you know.
Right. You're just
Not
grafting
happening.
something on to try to make
Exactly.
us feel
Yeah.
for the character.
Exactly, right. I have absolutely no interest in that at all. It sounds like the most boring thing ever. And here, I think they deal with that very, very well. You know, I mean, I think it's not. It doesn't take itself. I know this is going to sound weird and kind of bad, but it doesn't take itself too seriously. Like, it has a good sense of humor, and yet it still, I think, has a very sort of like realistic portrayal of, you know, a family dealing with someone with cancer. You know what I mean? I
hear what you're saying, but my response would be that this played to me very much like, and the thing is, you know, we adopt the sense of looking for the positive in things. Okay, so
I mean, we can adopt that. I don't think
I'm
that's
going to give it
necessary.
sort of a compliment sandwich here, where, in terms of the look of the movie, it looked good, and I liked it.
It was shot by Paul Cameron, by the way, who has worked on the movie that he shot right before this was Man on Fire for Ridley Scott.
Yeah,
which I kind of love.
Yeah, and I saw that, and I was like, oh, now I really. I mean, the thing is, I want to go see Man on Fire because I haven't, and I've always been meaning to, and then I see that in his filmography, and I'm like, oh, well, maybe this will spur me on to go see it.
Man on Fire is one of those movies where everyone is like, oh my God, Man on Fire. And like before the movie came out, I was like, oh my God, Man on Fire. And then I saw it and I was like, oh, Man on Fire. Okay. But, you know, he also shot Collateral and stuff like that.
And yes, and Collateral is I thought an amazing film.
Yeah, for sure.
Just absolutely wonderful, even though Tom Cruise, Michael Mann was obviously trying to, you know, like outfit him to make him look like he belonged in Manhunter back in the 80s. You know, he was doing everything he could to make it happen that way.
Apparently, the suit that he wears in that is the same suit that Cary Grant wears in North by Northwest.
No way! I didn't know that.
Yeah, it's like the movie. Like I guess it's been used in a number of movies. It's sort of known for being like the movie suit. You know?
No kidding. Well, anyway, so the movie looks good, but it is to me this movie takes the longest possible road to get to any of its points. And it very much was a big jumble of, oh, I remember seeing that in an 80s movie, and I remember seeing that in an 80s movie, and I remember seeing that in a 90s movie, and let's just put them all together and mix it up, and, you know, maybe that'll work. For example, they're going through everything, and the mom and the daughter aren't getting along, and so you cue up the music, and the daughter is a really excellent painter, and she's doing this awesome portrait of her mother in blue.
Okay.
And seriously, my reaction was, we're going to do this. We're going to do this right now. Really? I haven't seen enough of this already. And you have the fight at the party where the friend jumps in. No, it's your fault. I have never seen a fight at a party go down like that. I've seen it happen in movies, but I've seen fights at parties. Nobody jumps in and has like this conversation that makes the bully suddenly come to grips with the fact that he's the one that lost the relationship. Every sort of cliche that could, and I kept trying to say, okay, well, you know, I'm going to give it a go. Now we come back to the compliment part. The dialogue was good in the moments when it worked, and you know, like it was like this movie was a series of vignettes, some of which I really didn't like, but the vignettes that I was able to enjoy, it was because I found the dialogue to be well constructed, and and I think that this is also a good thing to know, is that Lawrence Kasdan and Jon Kasdan write the Han Solo movie, and I'm confident after seeing In the Land of Women, because of the vignette parts that work, that they're going to write the female characters well. Mm-hmm. So there's my compliment sandwich.
No, yeah, I mean, you're right about the dialogue and everything. I can definitely see, that humor, which you can find in, like, episode 5 and 6, and that you find in a lot of Lawrence Kasdan movies. And we should note, since it is a Star Wars podcast, that Lawrence Kasdan was an executive producer on this, which, I mean, who knows exactly what that means. But, you do see, like, a lot of his crew and everything, working on this thing. The movie was edited by Carol Littleton, who has worked with Kasdan, I think, since the beginning. But another thing which may be more familiar to people listening to this that she edited was a little movie. I don't know if you've seen it. It's like a kids movie. It's called E.T. the Extraterrestrial.
E.T.
It's,
is that like an 80s thing?
Yeah, it came out in the 80s.
I saw that. Yeah. It was
like the movie that, like, Spielberg did right before The Twilight Zone.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, aliens, small town, Halloween.
Yeah, I mean, I would recommend it, I guess. Like, if you're, I mean, it would be a good movie for you to watch with the kids. Let's put it that way.
Yeah, it would. And actually, I think right here on the network, on an episode of Missing Frames, they covered it with some adults that had not seen the movie before.
Cool. Yeah, check that out for sure.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, like, the people working on this are definitely, solid all the way around. The actors and everything are really good. Clark Gregg shows up, Agent Coulson.
I know, right? Agent Coulson. Maybe the reason that this movie is such a jumble is that it's Coulson's fever dream while they're reconstructing his brain after he got killed in Avengers. Spoilers.
See, I don't really see it as being a jumble. I really don't.
I totally do.
Some of the stuff that you're talking about, while I can see, your criticisms of him, and I don't even disagree with them, the heart of the story, the thing that really works to me is the relationship between, Adam Brody's character and Meg Ryan's character. And I think that is kind of a really, sweet, relationship between these two people who basically are both in need of someone. They don't have anyone in a certain way. And the way that they connect, it's rather before sunrise-ish.
I would not go that far.
I mean,
I
echoes.
Would definitely
echoes
not go.
It.
No. I get what you're saying,
the idea
but
that
no.
like they have this relationship sort of like in a time which is their own, and like they each need this for their lives, and they like kind of come together.
I would counter that. I can see the trace of where that was the foundation of what was going on, and then. Awesome painter, daughter, softcore pornography career, broken up girlfriend, dying grandmother, cheating husband, and is there anything I'm leaving? Oh yeah, and cheating boyfriend and best friend who works at it was Orange Julius. For them to pay for a product placement right there.
To be fair, the grandmother wasn't dying.
Okay. But she insisted she was dying through. Anyway.
Yes. Anyway.
The point being that, I mean, like if you get in there and you get to the heart of the artichoke, you're like, wow, this is good stuff. But it's a lot of work to get down there.
I don't know. Like half the stuff that you mentioned there, I found to be very entertaining. I definitely liked the whole thing with his ex-girlfriend. And there's like this whole thing where like. Rumor has it she's dating Colin Farrell, and then he's seeing pictures of her in like Gap ads and everything, and it was very amusing to me. I mean, I felt his pain. Not that I've ever been in that situation, but I could feel his pain because he did a good job of showcasing that in a very amusing and accessible way.
And another thing that I'd like to beat up on this movie for. Is the soundtrack is again something straight out of like a 90s slacker type movie where it's like, oh, here comes the song that ties in, that, you know, conveys what he's feeling while he's driving somewhere or doing something like that. And it's so tacked on that it just, and the thing is, look, Jon Kasdan has made more movies than I have. And obviously he's still working in Hollywood. So, you know, there's something that's going right, but it's just my honest opinion that this is like a Frankenstein's monster of somebody who liked a lot of the same movies I liked growing up, who said, and so I'll put all that in here.
I mean, you don't need to apologize for not liking a movie, you know? I mean, this is like a thing. Yes, do we try to be positive? I mean, okay, fine. We can try to be positive, but if we don't like a movie, you know, I'm not going to say that I did.
I'm not forgiving the movie for it. I'm trying to make sure that I'm putting it in the context of humility, of saying, like, I understand that I haven't done this thing, but that doesn't mean that I like what was done. I can't, for the life of me, butcher meat, but I can tell you when I get a bad steak somewhere.
Yeah, I don't think you need to qualify it like that. You know, I mean, I think that everyone is accepting of your opinion. You know, I mean, even though you have not made, you know, a multi-million-dollar feature film, I think people realize
there's so many years left in me, though, Mike.
Yeah, I know. But I mean, what I'm saying is, regardless of that, I think people realize that you can distinguish between a good one and a bad one. You know, present case excluded.
No, you know what? You are absolutely correct. And no, you're not correct about that. I'm correct in this conversation about the movie. Okay. I invite everybody. It's 99 cents. Okay, it's 99 cents on Amazon.
You can watch it for free on Netflix.
What?
I told you it was on Netflix.
No, I thought
yes. Oh. I said, hey, it's
I'm
on
out
Netflix.
$1 too. Are you kidding me? There's no justice in this world. Gosh.
I told you. I sent you a text. I said, In the Land of Women's on Netflix.
I get a lot of texts during the day, Mike. It's not fair to expect me to remember all of them. But
okay. Well, sorry about that.
But what I can tell you is that, you know what? Yeah, you know what? You're right. I'm going to turn over a new leaf. I'm going to stop qualifying my opinion like that.
Yeah.
You're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. And this movie stinks. And it is just, I mean, walk me through it. What am I not seeing? What, like, I say this is a big jumbled mess, and you say, no, this is an Edsel. This is people like Finns. Yeah, people like White Wall Tie. Yeah, let's put it all together.
I mean, like, you know, saying things like, oh, you know, the soundtrack is like very 90s and how it's just kind of tacked on and everything and all that stuff. And I mean, you say that, and I say, oh, I have to see that movie. You know what I mean? Like, that sounds amazing to me. And maybe it is nostalgia or something like that, but I mean, I don't know. I like everything that you're describing, like, good or bad, and I think for the most part, like, the heart of this movie is good, but good or bad, it's thoroughly entertaining, you know. And when I saw
I disagree again.
When I saw because I saw this like once in the theater when it came out, right? Like I was saying, I haven't seen it since, but it's always been one of those movies where I was like, that was a good movie. I remember liking that movie. And like, I couldn't even remember the specifics about it. I just remember like Adam Brody was in it and he was cool. And I was, and it was like different from what I thought it was going to be. And, you know, 10 years, it's literally been 10 years, right? So yeah. I'm like, I don't remember the specifics, but I remember liking it. And, you know, when this sort of like came up, I'm like, I want to do that movie because I want to revisit that movie. You know, that sounds exciting to me. And when I saw your review on Letterboxd, your 1.5 star review, I was like, uh-oh. Did I make a mistake? You know? And then, you know, I watched it today and I was like, no, I didn't. This is as good as I remembered. You know, I really enjoyed this movie. So
yeah, I guess this is just one of those things where it's just going to be an impasse. Now, I will say that, again, you know, looking for things that might be a clue to what would shape the Han Solo movie, since we're going to be encountering Han Solo at a much younger age, I think that there is something interesting going on at points with Adam Brody's character and the way he reacts to situations. So I think that there's a good possibility that Jon Kasdan is able to bring that sense of Han Solo-esque comedy to it, like that nascent Solo. Like we'll believe that this Han Solo that we get is going to become Harrison Ford in however many years. Like, I don't even know when the Han Solo movie set. How many years before Star Wars? Was it 10 years? 20 years? It can't be 20 years.
I don't think it's been completely established. I'm guessing it's around 5 to 10 years, though.
It's got to be 10. It's got to be at least 10.
Yeah,
it's got to be at least 10. Well, anyway, so I have confidence, and to speak to getting chemistry. I mean, if there's any love interest in this, though it doesn't gel, and the movie doesn't really connect the pieces properly. Again, individually, you are correct. The scene with Meg Ryan in the woods where they're talking works on its own, and the scene with Kristen Stewart alone, which leads up to the kiss that's immortalized in the poster, that works on its own. It's just that they didn't work together. So, but the thing is that I at least know that he's going to be able to bring that sort of dramatic flair to it of a guy who, can accidentally woo a woman, as we've seen Han Solo do in The Empire Strikes Back. That sort of unassuming charm.
Yeah, and the other thing that I guess we have to take into account is the fact that he is writing it with his dad, who wrote, 3 Star Wars movies and Raiders of the Lost Ark. So, he's got that going for him.
4 fairly successful films, yes.
Yeah. And in addition to that, it's being directed by a couple of guys who have written a number of really, really solid movies themselves. So certainly, they're not going to let anything slip past them that might not, hold up. So,
I mean, maybe the difference is that he took this on to direct, and it would have gone better had he simply written and or directed.
I don't necessarily think that's true, because I think that the direction is really good. I don't know.
Well, I mean, obviously I disagree.
Okay.
I'm drawing a distinction between how the movie looks to how it's put together.
Yeah. I mean, I see what you're saying, but I think it's put together well. I don't know. I mean, I don't, all of those things I think are pretty solid elements. I mean, I don't
see at this point. I'm legitimately, I'm dying on the inside. We've got to open the floor. We've got to get feedback from anybody listening. Mike and I, we have our differences of opinion on film, on many things, but usually we can sort of come close to each other and understanding each other. This is the first time in a while, at least, where we are really having a passionately disparate reaction to a movie.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's fascinating to me, because I have to know, I have to have like a sanity check. Am I the lone voice in the wilderness, and you're the voice of the people, or, am I Bane? And I'm, and I'm leading the uprising in Gotham this time. I've kind of got to know. I'm very curious.
I mean, I have a feeling that most people would agree with you.
You mean like the 47 score on Metacritic, or the 48% positive review on Rotten Tomatoes?
Yes. Yeah. But hey, 48%. I mean, it's 43%.
43%.
So,
Okay, there you go.
I was going to say that's still pretty, almost 50-50. So, I mean, but yeah, I mean, I mean, I don't think it's a masterpiece by any stretch of the imagination. I mean, hey, the first time I saw it, I was able to go 10 years without watching it again. So,
Right.
But I mean, I do think that it is very entertaining. But yes, while we were talking, though, just to go back to another thing, I looked it up, and it seems as though this Han Solo movie takes place approximately 10 years prior to
Nailed
A
it.
New Hope.
Yes.
Yeah. So,
yeah. All right.
And that one looks pretty exciting, and I guess one of the things which we should mention is a little bit of news which occurred in the past week in regards to that movie.
Oh, yes.
The addition of a cast member who I believe we were talking about on this show.
Yeah, I think so. I think
if
we
not, whatever. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't remember the context. I remember the conversation where we were talking about Omar getting stabbed and yes.
Oh, no, we were talking about that over on Stage 9 because we were talking
okay.
about Discovery directors because the guy who directed the episode of The Wire where Omar is in prison and he straps the phone books around his body so that he can survive the assassination attempt, and then he savages the person that attacked him.
Right.
That guy had directed that episode.
Right. Okay. Regardless, any of that doesn't have anything to do with this, I guess.
Not really.
But Michael K. Williams is going to be in the Han Solo movie in a prominent role, as they're saying.
Mm-hmm.
We don't know who he's playing, but whoever he's playing, it's going to be pretty great, I imagine. Even
beyond Omar, there's if you want to see a wonderful small performance by him, The Road, starring Viggo Mortensen. He has a very small role in that, and it's a heartbreaking moment, and he really sells the moment. And he is a really great actor. I mean, that's the thing that continually wows me about the Star Wars franchise. But I mean, I guess it makes sense that the franchise is so revered that you can pull talent and or name to star in your film.
Yeah,
they're not going to have any problem going to a great actor like this and saying, "Hey, you want to be in a Star Wars movie? Do I?"
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he's been in a lot of things. To me, the most noteworthy, aside from The Wire, would be Trapped in the Closet.
Have not seen it.
The R. Kelly. Right?
I have not seen that.
You have not seen Trapped in the Closet?
I don't think it's surprising that I haven't seen Trapped in the Closet, but
it's kind of surprising that you haven't seen Trapped in the Closet.
Why is it surprising that I haven't seen Trapped in the Closet? I'm not the world's biggest R. Kelly fan.
No, I don't think that's a prerequisite.
Okay.
Trapped in the Closet. How do I describe Trapped in the Closet? It is the most amazing thing I've ever seen in my entire life.
The most amazing thing you've ever seen in your entire life.
Mm-hmm.
More so than a Soderbergh movie.
Oh, yes, more so than a Soderbergh movie, but in a different way. I mean, you... Okay.
All right. So you want me to take the Pepsi challenge with this thing? Because I will watch it. But if I dislike it as much as In the Land of Women, what is my revenge that I'm allowed to take on you?
Okay, see, here's the thing about Trapped in the Closet, and this is what I'll
now we backpedal.
It is the early chapters. The later chapters are another thing entirely, but the first set, okay, it's one of those things where you sit and you watch it and you're like, oh my God, like I cannot believe that this thing got made. I cannot believe that someone was like, this is... we're doing this for real, and it's happening, and you just sit there and you watch it and you're like, oh my God, this is hilarious, because everyone is taking it so seriously, and it is the worst thing ever.
Oh, excellent. Okay, see,
right? Now
you've sold it to me. Now I do have to see this thing. I love what I'm hearing right now. Okay.
But then you get to the second set, where after the reaction was like, oh my God, that was hilarious, right? R. Kelly is like, oh yeah, you're right, it was hilarious. Let's do that again. Let's make this funny. And then in the second set, he tries to make it funny, and you're just like, that's not funny at all. What are you doing? Well, you think you're a comedian, R. Kelly? You're not. This is terrible. We
just want to laugh at your effort.
Exactly, so when they try to be funny, then it falls flat on its face. But I have to say, when the last series, the third, because his plan is for this to outlive him, he wants this to keep on going forever. So when the third set came out, the people who sort of like do like the Rocky Horror Picture Show type things, they did a theatrical release, like one night only. I've never been with a more electric crowd in a movie theater. Oh my God. I mean, they started off with an R. Kelly dance party, which I guess kind of stacked the deck. But then, and one of the actors was there, not Michael K. Williams, but one of the other ones was there because they shot it in Chicago and, this is where it was. But oh my God, I've never seen an audience so into a movie in my life. It was the most amazing thing.
So if I want to learn more about this mystery character, what will be brought to this mystery character in the Han Solo movie, I should go see Trapped in the Closet.
Yeah, and he plays a cop like very early on in the series, and it's the first time I had ever seen him. I mean, this is like pre-Wire and everything. And then when he's in the Wire, I'm like, oh my God, it's that guy from Trapped in the Closet. Oh my God, this is so amazing.
Obviously, he made a positive impression on someone.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
All right.
I mean, I'm assuming most people have seen Trapped in the Closet. If you haven't, watch it. I'm fairly certain that they're all up on YouTube and everything, but if not, seek them out because they're great. They're great.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I mean, exciting news regardless, especially if you're a Wire fan. So that's very cool. But yeah, we do want to open the floor to everybody. If you have seen In the Land of Women, if you want to prove you're smarter than one of the hosts on this show and watch it for free on Netflix and give us your opinion, you go right ahead. And you can reach out to us at thenerdparty.com/contact and look up Great Shot Kid and drop us a line. It'll send us an email, electronic mail, which we can read and respond to right here on the show. Speaking of reaching out to us, you can also go over to facebook.com/thenerdparty and you can comment on our show posts over there. And all of our shows on the network are posted on the Facebook page. You can find us, of course, over on Twitter at Join Nerd Party. That is the official network account. And Mike, where can people find you online?
You can find me on Twitter at Mumbles3K, and you can also find me on commentarytrackstars.com, where I do a show called Commentary Trackstars. We just did a commentary for The Empire Strikes Back, where we don't really talk about The Empire Strikes Back much, but, it's still an entertaining conversation.
But you're wrong about ellipses. That's the important thing.
We're wrong about ellipses, but we're right about Savage Opress, so there you go, right?
No.
If you want to hear me talk about John behind his back, go listen to that commentary.
Behind his back on the air. Yes.
And you can also find me on the Talk Film Society, doing a new show called Soderbergh 2828, where we look at every single Steven Soderbergh movie from beginning to end, leading up to his newest movie, Logan Lucky. So check that out over on talkfilmsociety.com. And then you can find me on Trek.fm doing Stage 9, which is a show just like this, but about Star Trek. It's so much like this show that my co-host on that show happens to be John Mills.
And it doesn't answer which one of these shows is in the Mirror Universe because I have a goatee in both of them. You can find me online at Kessel Junkie or as Kessel Junkie, where just look for me. I'll be there. You can find me also here on this network co-hosting Aggressive Negotiations with Matt Rushing, which is a zany Star Wars podcast where we delve into some really silly things. And you can find me co-hosting Words with Nerds with my pal Craig. And that is a bit of a free-form show. We think it's a bit of fun. And actually, just recently, I made an anthropological mixtape analyzing what went into forming my musical tastes. So that aired this week, and I think it's fun.
It sounds like something Adam Brody's character would do in the Land of Women.
Doesn't it just?
Yeah.
It just does. You're right. There you go. There's the key. You finally figured it out, Mike. I can relate to him. But something he would also do is he would watch The Burbs, which is going to be the movie that we cover next week. So join us on Great Shot Kid as we cover The Burbs.